Pennyfeather, after getting a good round, is back to being in major trouble for this moment here. What do you do from here? Do you go like multi-melter or something like that? We do see an orbital javelin coming down for both players. Makes sense. I'm just waiting for the next shoe to drop, and I think the next shoe to drop is portable shield. Because if there is one thing that can make the explosions less volatile, it's having shields on your side of the board. Also, like, if I'm looking at the orbital javelins here, this is so much more juicy than this. I mean, sure, it's quad tech, but this is hitting so many units, and it's killing each and every one of them. I don't really know what Fang Shields is supposed to accomplish, because they might as well not exist against these Fangs, I think. The Rhino contain is like, oof. What do we do here? This is a giant breach. There's a gap in the defenses, and it's a very, very bad one. Every Rhino that explodes doesn't really take away from the opponent's forces, it just takes away from Pennyfeather's forces. Tower here falls, which means... okay, well, I mean, that army kinda solved itself. It's not a lot of damage, because at the end of the day, this is just a lot of high-level Fangs, but you can see where this game is going right now. Orbital bombardment. Orbital bombardment against lightning storm. The zombie is definitely starting to hit hard. This, I think, is about the point where I joined the game this morning. And I was just like, dude, what in the universe is this board? We're seeing now a mobile beacon directing this level 2 Rhino straight for the tower. And it basically only needs to get destroyed somewhere in the vicinity of it, and the tower is going to fall. At least if there's no shields blocking it. But yeah, this is a crazy board. You see more missiles, but really, missiles don't do a whole lot here. Like, they only do their damage. And against Rhinos with Photon and all these ticks, that's not a lot. So some Rhinos get turned around by the hackers, but they are already super close and just blow the tower into nothingness. Ay, ay, ay. Second tower debuff, as 3 Rhinos just explode into nothingness at the same time. Basically only Fangs survive, but if this is chip damage, you don't want to see a round where like 2 or 3 Rhinos survive. You see some potential new units here. You can always just sell the Raiden if you want to continue on what you're doing. But we'll see what is going to be done. So both players have picked the Raiden. It looks like Zombie is intending to keep it, which makes sense. Like, tell me where the anti-air is beyond these few marksmen. I don't think these few marksmen are going to be a problem for a level 3 Wraith. He's put both towers to level 4. Now these have 130,000 health and change. But these Rhinos are doing 108,000 damage already. At least this Rhino is. These are doing less. But usually when the Rhinos explode, they are just layering damage on top of damage. So I wonder if it's going to be all that important here. Meanwhile, these Fangs are just... like, what can you put here that is going to destroy them before they destroy everything? A Crawler? No, even with that. You would have to, like, put some Wasps in the front so they eat the missile. Then a few Crawlers or Sledges or something. And then a Vulcan behind that or something like that in order to break this flank. Or something with just an absurd amount of armor, but you would need to get something dropped. These units are just way too strong. Anyway, let's see. There's hacking beams going all out. Some Fangs exploded, but these Fangs, well, they still don't have shields, so they actually died. How much health is this? 50? Yeah, okay, it was enough. It was enough, never mind. It just blew up the level 4 tower like it was absolutely nothing. So if we're looking for, like, good moves that the players can do, There's a bunch of things that both players can do. I think Fang shields are pretty good, but not all that vital. Penny Feather going down to 18 HP and a dream. We are heading into round number 8. Mustang production might actually be worth it, but I'm not confident. The fight just ends so quickly that I don't think it's getting its value. And this is where we finally see the hacker shields coming out, because one good thing against explosions is you can kinda insulate your units against them with shields. Also, I don't know why we still haven't sold these tarantulas. Like, they're getting about 16k damage with an item at level 2. This tarantula got 10 shots, which means it survived 6 seconds. I don't think that tarantula is worth keeping around if it's doing nothing but shooting at rhinos for 6 seconds. Both players have geared up as much as they can. Actually, on the rain, the item is probably even worth it. We do have Mustangs with range. One of them is relatively high level. Oh, wait, 2 of them are relatively high level. This one's at least a level 2, and this guy has an item, so if they survive, they can do something. Portable shield has dropped, so this is a round of the shields. One player with bubble shields and the other player with personal shields. Both of these protect you against explosions, so long as they happen outside of the range of the bubble shields. Even the fortresses here have shields, so yeah. Penny Feather is putting on armor, and it's all energy armor. What are we going to see now? We are hacking the rhinos relatively quickly. They are exploding. This rhino just is oof. But here's what I was talking about. These hacker shields prevented the tower from taking any amount of damage. And we need kinda every amount of damage that we can find. The rhinos are definitely bad against all of these fangs, because the fangs don't have enough damage. Now if just 2 giants stay alive for a zombie, no, actually if just a few fangs stay alive for a zombie, he's going to win. There's only Mustangs left against these higher level Raidens and high level fangs. However, kinda the fangs are now actually working on the Raidens. And it looks like Penny Feather is about to take this round. But is it enough damage? It is. Well, 18 HP and a dream, and an absolutely awesome match. Like, now I want to pick this, because this looks like an insane build. An actively insane build. I didn't expect that you could even remotely get close to playing with hackers against, well, with rhinos against hackers. Now I realize why the sentence wasn't making sense. But yeah, I have no idea. Like, hackers is clearly the way to defend here. I think Penny Feather made some mistake in the form that he even leveled this tarantula, even though, like, this thing didn't even get 10 times its damage value. So this thing survived for, what is it? I think this is like 8 shots. And 8 times 0.6 would be, what is that? 8 times 6, I think, is 42, if I'm not mistaken. It could be wrong. But it's definitely, like, it's too little damage. Yeah, it should be 46. So 4.6 seconds survival time for this tarantula. Why is it eating up 400 supply and an item? On the other hand, in his defense, if I were playing against this build, I think my brain would be on fire right now. In the end, it may just be the super supply that carried him over to victory. And definitely the shields helped. Though I think he may even have been fine in the... Honestly, I'm going to check. I think he may have been fine without the shields. Let's see if we can make this actually work. I think it's still worth just picking up the intensive training. We need all the hacker levels we can. And then we just sell one of these tarantulas. It's probably not a bad choice leveling. We should be putting levels on all the hackers that we can find. And I think it's deserved to just give these out, and we hit range here because we need to deal with the fangs eventually. I think it's best to level the one in the middle. And then why don't we just hit all of these buttons? And we drop nothing but Hacker. And if we're not picking range, and if you're not picking that, we should be picking another tech. So how about we... Oh, we don't have Splash. That kinda sucks. Is there even a viable tech to go for here then? I think it may be key to just hack these as quickly as possible. I guess leveling these is actually worth it. And I think there may actually be an angle where we get in here, but I wouldn't be so sure. Can't drop any additional units, so how about we just drop this? And then... I mean, there's now no spot to missile. That is really impressive. I guess we'll just drop our shield like here and throw a level on these. I don't know what makes sense. Alright, let's see how that works. If I'm right or if I'm wrong. This thing is just one big problem. So I think it's right. We have kind of hit the critical mass, but we don't need it anymore. But are we going to even win the round? Because maybe he was doing better overall with the shields. Yeah, I think we're just getting overwhelmed by all the flanks. So shields were still necessary. I think just to have all the HP we can get on the board. Because this is not working. And this is definitely more than 18 health as far as damage goes. So good on picking the shields. Alright. Well, I hope that answered all the questions. If you like this build and you have an awesome game, preferably above 10 rounds, go give me a ring. And other than that, have an amazing day, and I hope to see you again next time. Until then.